Show ahead of Super Bowl 57. Once again, Marc Farzetta with you along with Seth Joyner, Derrick Gunn, and we are joined by our man on the field himself from the amazing Adam Malamut and Malamut Law. Thank you so much for joining us, Adam. How you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing great. I mean, listen, it's Super Bowl Sunday. We're in Philadelphia, well, Atlantic City, but we're in Philadelphia, right? This is Philadelphia territory. I'm doing great.
Here's where I know my night ends, Broad Street. That's where I know my night ends. So that we'll be in Philly at some point. But I do want to ask you this, because I've talked to a lot of fans throughout the week, and all of them seem to have that type of love. They'll be like, hey, what do you think about the Birds? And I'll say, I feel good. And everyone will go, me too? Like, they believe the Eagles are going to win this game. They know who's across the field from them, though. They know it's a very worthy opponent in this. Where are you at confidence-wise for Eagles-Chiefs?
Would I be any kind of fan if I said anything other than the Eagles? I mean, listen, we're in Philadelphia. We don't breed losers here. So we know how to win. This team knows how to win. Jalen Hurts, I don't care what anybody says, and there was banter on social media all week about him. The guy's the real deal. Eagles all the way.
I'll go with you 100% there, Gunner.
How is it you're here in Atlantic City and not in Arizona? How's that possible?
Oh, man. You know my wife's watching, right?
You know what? I just put you in a trick bag, so you can't get out of it now.
All right, I'll take it. Listen, you guys gave me the invite, so it was come hang out with Seth, and you guys or go to Arizona. So, you know, I got the best of both.
Nice soft shoe, Adam.
You got out of that quick.
Hey, man, listen, you know, you set that one up.
The escapability from just that was pretty impressive. Now, when you mentioned Jalen Hurts, you mentioned how great a season he's had and all that stuff, how impressive he's been. To you, what has been the most impressive thing about Jalen Hurts this year?
His resiliency. I mean, the guy's gotten himself to a point where there were a lot of doubters. I think Jalen's proven that he can come back. He's a real deal. He's a real competitor. That's what's most impressive.
And what has been a more fun ride for you? All right, to this point at the Super Bowl, or was it 5 years ago? What has been the more action-packed, more fun ride for you?
That's a great question. Look, 5 years ago, we had no idea that we were supposed to be there. It happened. It was awesome. We won. This team just gels. This team just seems to be a team that not only are they full of talent, but they're cohesive. They work well together, and they truly seem to be a family.
When the Eagles made the trade for A.J. Brown, Philadelphia fans lost their minds adding him to this arsenal. But as you sit here right now, did you ever think we would be looking at an offense with 2,000-yard receivers and a 1,000-yard rusher?
I don't think anybody saw that. I think that, you know, if we're all going to be honest with ourselves, we thought that A.J. improved the team. Look, what this team's doing is giving us the best run of any Philadelphia team in recent history. I can't remember the last time any sport we had a run like this. But to say that we could have anticipated that, I don't think that's reasonable.
Adam, we had Howie went out and worked some magic in the offseason and really set this roster up, especially on the defensive side of the ball, in a magnificent way. Could you have envisioned, I mean, was there any confidence in you whatsoever that this bag of talent that Howie handed Jonathan Gannon, that he could pull off, you know, producing the second-ranked defense in the National Football League this year?
Man, I love this defense. And I know I'm speaking your language, Seth. You know, I think that games are won or lost by defense. We've seen a lot of defenses through NFL history, Baltimore Ravens being one of them, that carried the day. You know, there's a lot of talented players. I think that the leadership on the defense, guys like Brendan Graham, really helped form that cohesion. You know, so when you look at bringing the talent in, that's one part. And as you know, if you don't have those folks playing well together, right, you know, it's the leadership in the locker room. So I give, you know, everybody deserves credit on that.
To ask another question, going back from 5 years ago, I think we all knew when Jake Elliott made that, 61-yard field goal, that it was going to be a pretty special year. It's hard to put your finger on one moment from this year, but when did you buy in? When did you really think, oh, wow, they really got a chance of going all the way?
So since Derrick already threw me under the bus, I booked a hotel. I booked a hotel room in Phoenix. I think it was October 9th.
Oh, wow.
So I booked a hotel room there. I was planning to be there, and you know, some things took place. I wasn't able to go. Very happy to be here. I have a friend who actually is using my hotel room there. I probably shouldn't say that, but that being said, I bought in early. You know, these guys were just running the table.
So I'm going to go ahead and say they beat Dallas. That was around the time they beat Dallas.
Right.
And then they had the bye week. You had some time to think. You booked your hotel room.
You know, I think my wife would tell you that I never really think. I'm just impulsive. But bleeding Eagles green, being a Philadelphia sports fan, you've got to have the passion. And look, Arizona's not a bad place to go either. So if Minneapolis was a little bit of a tougher buy-in for me. It's cold there. But looking at booking Arizona, that was an easy sell.
So where are you going to watch the game from? Here with all these big screen TVs behind us, or for the comfort of your living room where you can have quiet and actually hear the game?
Derrick, so I'm going to stop by a friend's house right around the corner from us, say hello,
okay.
But I'm going to go home and I'm going to watch it in front of my television with, the ability to really kind of soak in the moment, right?
Who came up with the concept of Super Bowl parties anyway? My wife tries to get me to go to a Super Bowl party every year, and I refuse to go. Because all people want to do is talk and walk in front of the TV. I just want to sit there and watch the game and listen to the announcers, the updates.
Come on,
I'm serious. I'm anti-social on Super Bowl Sunday.
It is, I don't know. The government just needs to go ahead and declare Super Bowl Sunday a national holiday, man, and then give us Monday to recover. Because we're always looking for a reason, to get together and celebrate. I mean, in football, in my opinion, this is big, or maybe even bigger than baseball now. So, when you really think about that and the finality of it, and 32 teams, you get down, to 2 teams, and it's only 1 game. It's not a 5-game series or a 7-game series. It's a big deal, man. Hey, listen, my pastor called me yesterday. He's like, good luck. I know it's a big day for you. I'm like, I ain't playing nothing. But that just goes to show you, how people view the game of football now.
No, I will say this on that note, though, and my daughter's school isn't the only school. It's many schools. She has a 2-hour delay tomorrow. So I did call my wife, and I said, make sure Emanuela is up, and make sure if they're hoisting the trophy, she at least sees that happen, because she's got 2 hours off tomorrow where she can sleep in before we take her to school.
Mark, to that point, in the event there's a parade, which we all know that we're planning a parade.
No. When there's a parade.
Thank you, Seth. So
stop that.
When we have our parade, Malamut and Associates will be shut down, except for the people who wore Dallas jerseys and Giants jerseys. Those folks have to work. No, I'm just joking. No, we'll be shut down, and we'll give everybody the opportunity to celebrate a great win for Philadelphia.
Let me ask you this, you being a native Philadelphian.
Sure.
There was a 57-year gap between championships before 2017. And this city and this fan base took a lot of ribbing from everybody else in the NFL. And even it got to a point when I would travel with the Eagles Philadelphia fans, say, you know what, D-Gun, what can we say? We haven't had anything. But now that you've got an opportunity for a second trophy in a span of 5 years, how does that make you feel? How does that pride ooze out of you now?
I feel a lot better than San Francisco fans.
Exactly.
I think that, look, I'm proud. I think that Philadelphia will handle it a lot more gracefully. We've been on the receiving end for so many years. I think that we've learned with all of our sports. I think we've learned how to be a little more graceful, and I think we'll be very grateful, too.
All right, well, Adam, it's great catching up with you again. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for your great patronage of this show. We appreciate you jumping on, my friend. Safe travels for wherever you're watching the game, of course.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it, guys.
We'll be back with the JAKIB Media Super Bowl 57 pregame show.